Good evening. Welcome to the February 25th, 2026 Abington Finance Committee meeting. We have a good agenda tonight where we will be going over the budget for FY27. We'll get an update from the town manager and town accountant. We will then go into meetings with department heads. We have the DPW here and the Community Preservation Committee here as well. Then we will go on to our standing business of liaison reports, correspondence, review of minutes, and we will discuss our next meeting, which should be next Wednesday, March 4th. So we can get the ball rolling with, I don't know if the town manager or town accountant wants to kick it off with the latest, where things are at.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Assuming the budget is balanced at this point?
We're just about there. We'll have to be, because I'm presenting to the select board tomorrow the FY27 budget. You know, our expectation before this disastrous blizzard was to be able to come here and do a budget presentation. So next week I can get into a full budget presentation if that's okay with the chair.
Yep.
I've been remiss, I know that John's here, and just want to recognize this was an unparalleled blizzard, likened to the blizzard of '78, and I just want to say DPW, John and his staff did a phenomenal job. Abington, compared to other communities, even to my hometown, the streets are really well cleared out. The school parking lots were done. I know they concentrated on sidewalks and the intersections because the snow was just so high. So I want to say thank you to the DPW, police, and fire for all of their efforts. And we had the shelter open again. And to any of our residents, especially our elderly that were affected by any power outages or things like that. So thank you to Amy and her staff. So that was all well and good. I know that Andrew gave some updated budget numbers for everybody. A couple of little things that we're working on, the debt service schedule that we'll have to adjust, and unemployment. As everyone knows, we'll have to figure out what that exact cost will be based on numbers of people that if the override doesn't pass, and if we don't go to the level service budget, then there'll be a number of staff reductions, and those have a cost to them. Unemployment's roughly, I think, $33,600 per person that's laid off, so we'll have to work on those numbers. So next week I'll plan on doing a presentation, but any of the FinCom members that are available, I'm doing a presentation tomorrow at 11 to the select board, and I'll do one also for FinCom next week.
Anything else?
A couple updates. So the sheet that you have in front of you, we are showing a level funded budget that requires about 2.7 million of free cash. Good news, free cash came in. We have $3,289,054 worth of free cash. So we can cover the level funded budget and still have some left over for capital.
Does that include money towards, something like snow and ice removal?
We do need to come up with a plan for that.
Yes.
Given the unprecedented nature of the storm, we might get some relief from the state. I know a couple years ago.
Because that has gone so well lately.
Well, a couple years ago, we did get money from the federal government for that big storm in January of 22, I believe.
Yes.
So maybe it's not out of the question, but
We're going to, just if I may, Mr. Chairman, just follow up on Andrew. So the governor did have a call to cities and towns over that and working with MEMA. So we're going to be assembling what our costs were for snow removal, for public safety and stuff like that. And then we'll be applying for those dollars to see what we can get back. Doesn't always happen right away. Sometimes it takes a couple of years. We'll see how quickly they move and how much we'll be able to get back to offset those costs. But they'll be big. I mean, public safety, John's crew's been out there, just spent a lot of hours making sure that the roadways were safe. And even when we don't have storm and there's large melting periods, even Saturday, was supposed to be close to 40. And then it's going to drop right down and freeze. So all that melting, all that water will require
ice.
folks to be out to rock salt and sand. So it's it's a constant.
So we do have enough free cash to level fund the budget. This has been a crazy week, and I do apologize for not having the budget sheets printed out for you. We do have the budget summaries there.
Yep.
Also, just a quick note, spoiler alert. Well, it's 2.7 million here. It's going to be a little bit higher. We weren't able to get through the final DPW budgets. Level funding will increase by about 70K because we're anticipating no layoffs for DPW. And the level service, we're going to request 2 extra people in the override for DPW. So those numbers are will change once we get them updated. As far as
Quick tangent on that point, are there any other departments that are asking for, like, new staff in the override, not schools?
No. As an update to the unemployment situation, I'm currently putting together a small actuarial model based on government data about how long unemployment claims last. And I'll try to get that number down, because if you think about it, that 33K is like a max amount, and sometimes people are able to find jobs or other employment. So to the extent that we can figure out how long the average claim lasts, I can put together a model that says, all right, this is how much we have to reserve. I see Chris smiling over there. Actuary stuff. I'll update you when I have more information about how much that unemployment reserve should be.
Yes.
To figure out that number, does that mean all departments have a number of how many they're gonna let go?
They have an idea, yes.
Okay.
And the 33.6, is that an average per person or
The max,
hmm?
the max benefit.
max benefit? Okay.
So I know that we haven't met with every department yet.
Close at this point.
I'm sorry, what was
We're
that?
close.
I know, we are close, but so I know, how set is this number then? Because,
It depends on the debt schedule.
okay,
That's the only other major item, but everything else is pretty much
okay. I just knew some people haven't come in yet, so I just wasn't sure how done everything is.
Do we know how health insurance is?
It's
unknown?
not voted and
Oh.
set in stone, but we're thinking it's looking like 8%.
Okay.
And that number has been updated here.
Other questions for Andrew? I think from me, what are, for FY '26, where are local receipts tracking, trending? Do we have that? I know you've had that for us in the past. I don't know if
I
it's
can,
on.
I can pull it up on the website.
Thank you. I know I've looked at it a couple of times, but
And this is from, for those watching at home, if you want to see how we're doing, just come to the accounting website, click on FY '26 reports, and you can see our expenditures and revenues every month for this year and other years. So this one, this report,
Andrew.
I ran at the beginning of the month.
Andrew, I think they're asking if
Oh.
you can take over from Kelly and
Got it.
show that on the screen.
One moment. All right. So as far as local receipts go, 36% of what's been budgeted.
As
I
of-
wonder how much that is. Excise season just started, and this was at the beginning of the month, so we'll see how they look next month, next week, actually, as I rerun this. let's see. I mean, besides excise, which is coming in now, it looks pretty strong. $167K worth of marijuana. I think we talked about that last time. Yeah, I think this is just timing, because excise bills are just coming due now, so
Yeah.
we wouldn't have collected it earlier in the year.
Because one of the things that I noticed was the actuals from FY '25, the local receipts were significantly more than what the estimated were for FY '26.
Right, that's driven by the Summer Street project, so that's a lot, like over $1 million of one-time
Yep.
building permit revenue, which is why we didn't estimate that
Yeah.
high for '26.
Do you have just readily available the, like, FY '24, FY '23 actuals?
Yeah, they should be up.
So as far as excise tax, if we can just get Greg to buy like another fleet of cars, we should be good.
Try.
Cover the entire,
I'm working on it.
cover the entire budget gap.
I'm working on it.
So here's 25. The difference that you're seeing is that we don't include miscellaneous revenue in our projections, because it's not just unanticipated
Yep.
revenue.
So that's the over $1 million difference in license and permits.
Right.
Is the Summer Street project.
Right. 24?
Yep.
So you can see we estimate conservatively with
Yep.
local receipts, and this generates free cash for the town.
Yeah.
So we had 600K worth of licenses and permits in '24.
Why would the I might have missed something. Why would the chapter 70 money be so? Like it just doesn't go up at all, really? Went up by 25 grand?
That's what we've
That's-
been talking about with the state aid.
No, I know, but I thought it went up. I thought we went up by a little bit,
It went up by like 1%.
1%.
1%.
but that's more than 25 grand. Or am I doing the math wrong? Or did I miss something?
So
I'm just talking about here.
1%.
47.
Hold on, I can pull it up.
I'm only talking 25, 26.
Yeah.
We're still on an estimate for 26.
No, that's a good point.
So there's 27. It looks like it went up by 160K.
So 26, chapter 70 is
Oh,
14,812,278, and what we had on the sheet here was 14,7. So a little bit minimally more than what's showing on the sheet. Greg's point was the actual for FY '25 and the estimated for FY '26 were only a $25,000 difference. It's
Yeah.
actually about a $125,000 difference.
Not the dead pick, but it's still not one. It's not 1%.
Right, well, this is only half of it.
Great.
This is,
That's awesome. So if it's going to go up, that sounds good.
right, so. That's.
I'm good. You don't even have to do it.
No, it's just. So we got 287 extra in receipts.
Yep.
They also charge us for stuff, mostly charter school tuition. And that went up by 103K. So 287 minus 103, and that's what net state aid is. And that's not much.
Yeah.
Oh, so it like cancels out. It is,
Yes.
okay, so that makes sense. That's probably easier than
So like,
giving and taking it.
we get 15 million in chapter 70, but the charter schools get 1.5 million of that right off the top.
Okay.
Other questions for Andrew? Floyd, anything? Good.
No,
Emily,
good.
anything?
Nope, all good.
All right. All right. That brings us to the DPW. Thank you. DPW Chief John Stone.
Good to see you all.
With us. Thanks for coming, John.
I was going to start off
I know
with
you
a,
must be busy this week.
yeah, we are, yeah.
Thank you again for all of the work that you and your guys are doing. As the town manager pointed out earlier, you definitely, I drove to work this morning and could notice a difference when I crossed the line from here into the city just to the west of us.
Yeah.
Whose name I will not mention.
Yeah,
When my car started scraping the snow that was still in the middle of the road. Was not doing that in Abington, so
thank you. We have a great staff,
appreciate that.
awesome staff. But I was going to start off with a slideshow, if that's okay. PowerPoint. Where am I? Just to give a brief
We
overview,
reconnected.
Yes.
There we go.
brief overview of what we got coming up and what we have going on. If we can go to the next slide, Kelly. Oh, I'm sorry.
Like, slow it down, slow it down.
We get the grass waving.
Look at that. It's amazing. All right. We have a few upcoming projects. Chestnut and Hancock being number one. Everyone knows about that. Chestnut and 139. We got funding through the TIP program to put a set of lights there. That's the most dangerous intersection in town. We also got a grant for Washington and Shar Ave and Adam Street. Most people know about that intersection. It's dangerous.
It's a weird intersection.
Very weird.
Like the Chestnut 139.
Chestnut,
It's
Chestnut,
just odd,
bad.
odd angles.
Odd angles.
Visibility really poor.
We're gonna fix that.
So-
You'll see it coming up here. If you go to the next slide, you'll see a list of intersections in town. OCPC created this list via crash data. And if you look at the top four, we're taking care of the top four. Well, not us totally, but we're taking care of three of the top four. Randolph Street and Chestnut is the worst. We were able to get TIP funding for that, as I alluded to earlier. Bedford and Brockton Ave is the second most dangerous intersection in town. The state is gonna do a project there to straighten that intersection out to make it safer.
Is that,
With Sub Gallias?
I was gonna say, is that 18139?
No, that's
No,
18
123.
123.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It also is kind of like moguls right now. The pavement there is.
It is moguls. It is moguls,
not-
so they're gonna
not
straighten that up.
Fantastic, but it's good to know that there's relief coming for that.
That will take place in federal fiscal year 2028. And then Chestnut and Hancock, we have that coming up in the spring. It's going out to bid very soon. Again, that's funded through the state and federal government's TIP program. Doesn't cost the taxpayers anything. And then Groveland and Linwood, we were able to tap into a new grant program. The state, it's called the Four-Way Stop Grant Program, and we tapped into that. And we made that a four-way stop, and the results have been positive. And that was no cost to the taxpayers.
I will say, since that's right over by where I live,
What do you think?
I was not thrilled that it was going to be a four-way stop, and it's fine.
Slows people down.
It slows people down, but honestly, I've never seen problems in that intersection before.
A lot of crashes.
But, I haven't seen any of them, but I find it to not really be much of a nuisance at all. I was expecting to be annoyed by having to stop every time I was going past Glenwood. It's fine.
Good, I'm glad.
So
I have a
if I was
question.
in one of the houses
Sure.
there, I might not like.
Can we get
blinking stop
updated data?
signs.
I'm just curious. Or no?
I can try to get an update.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, that would definitely be good.
Definitely. And then the bottom one, if we go back,
I
Kelly,
know Chris is interested in the Chestnut Hancock
Yes.
as an abutter.
Yeah.
Old Randolph and Thicket is down at the bottom. We took care of that one through the state's Safe Streets for All program about 2 years ago, to tighten up the intersection because we had people driving the wrong way down Old Randolph. So that straightened that out, and results have been positive on the most part, anyway, for the most part. All right, next slide, Kelly. Thank you.
Wasn't there Old Randolph and 139 on there?
Yes.
Probably Thicket one. I don't know the names of the streets. But
Yes. Yes.
Is that still on there?
Old Randolph and 139?
Yeah, that was the top.
139 and
Oh,
Chestnut.
I don't know, I'm bad.
The-
139,
Yep.
and it goes over to a school.
Yes, that's,
Right there.
Yeah.
that's,
that's not-
we're
That's
taking
that
care of that. I'll get to that in 2 seconds. That's, no, actually, that's
No,
right.
there's an, I don't know, there's an accident there every couple of days. I don't know how it happens, but
Yeah, we were able to get this funded through the state's TIP program. I think the amount was about $5 million. This is slated for federal fiscal year 27. So that's gonna take place a year from about right now. We're gonna, met the warrants for a traffic signal, and we're gonna tighten up the intersection, make geometric improvements, as you alluded to earlier, Matt. The right-of-ways are off-center. And then we'll have a left turn lane on 139. So that'll make that a lot safer for motorists, pedestrians, bike riders, everybody. Kids going to school, crossing guards, at no cost to the town. And if we go to the next page. Hancock and Chestnut. This is the third most dangerous intersection in town, and we'll be.
Still surprises me that it's not first.
I know it does. You would think it would be first.
Yeah.
It's not. But as Greg said, that other one is real bad as well.
Yeah.
We were able to tap into the state's TIP program back in 2016 for this. That's how long the process takes. But the cost of construction is estimated at $8.5 million, and the state and federal government will be funding that through the TIP program. This will include a roundabout, safety improvements for pedestrians and bicyclists alike. We'll be shaving the hill down about 3 feet, building in the middle of the intersection up about 1 feet to reduce the incline of that hill, to make it safer. So far, everyone's on board with it. They like the idea. We've had fatalities there, more than one, I think at least 2. So this is slated, this is coming up fast. This will be going out to bid towards the end of March, and we're supposed to break ground probably around June, July.
Okay.
So
That's a 2-year, is that how long, or?
What's that?
What's the duration for?
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it takes 2 years to do it?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, because we're making major changes to the hill. It's gonna include blasting, things like that. There'll be
Chris is super excited about that.
there'll be a state engineer on site every day. We'll have the details, the traffic details. Go ahead. Sorry.
Is it gonna be like closed down? Like how's that? Cause
No,
I
they'll-
feel like it's gonna get less safe while we're fixing it.
It might be inconvenient, but it will be opened up every day to traffic.
Okay.
And people will be able to access their driveways throughout the duration of the project.
They're just gonna blast at night.
Yeah, they're just gonna blast at night,
Like 2 a.m.
yeah.
Have fun,
2 a.m.
guys.
And then if we can go to the next
I'll
slide,
go in my bunker.
Do you have one?
you'll have further information in your
Okay, good, thank you.
in the packet that's not being shown up here. And this, again, this is the Washington, Adams, and Shaw intersection that we got a grant for last year. For those who know it, it's, something needs to be done with it. It's there's a lot of accidents there. But again, we were able to tap into the state's Safe Streets for All program, and the amount is $255,000. And that's gonna take place in the spring. And the residents around the area seem happy about that, and they're happy.
Front yards
So
get bigger.
it's,
Their front yards get bigger.
yeah,
New 400 feet of new concrete, granite curbing, sidewalks,
Oh, very nice.
better pedestrian.
so it's essentially taking out, when you're going up Washington Street from Furlio,
Yep.
it's essentially taking out the
Yes.
curve of
Exactly.
the
And it'll be
turn
wide
off,
enough so
turn
trucks-
off into Adams.
Correct.
So it'll make it more of a straightforward intersection.
Correct. and people will be able to take the right-hand turn, no problem. We ran it through the software. Our engineers have a software. Trucks can make the turn right. And as you'll notice, it'll be safer for pedestrians. The two crosswalks currently there are not safe at all. As you can see, one goes diagonally across Shaw Ave to that island, where there is no sidewalk. You're supposed to have sidewalks there.
I don't know if you would know this or if the schools would know this, but do you know what the volume of kids walking that area is since it's a right? Like it's, what, less than a quarter of a mile from.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the,
Beaverbrook and the fields and stuff.
I'm not sure of the volume, but you can see a lot of kids using it for
Yeah.
biking and walking every day to go to school and come home from school. And this will make it safer.
Yep.
The sidewalk will be safer. And it will just be a continuation of the complete streets grant we got a couple of years ago for the 2,000 feet of sidewalk. So kids will have a good place to ride their bike and walk in residence. So that's that. Center Ave Bridge, we were able to get a grant a couple of years ago through the state small bridge program to repair that. It was graded by the state on a scale of 1 to 10. It was given a grade of 4, and they said we needed to make repairs. We made the repairs through the grant program, and it's all set now. All we have to do is pave it, and that'll be done. So it's safe now.
So that's not Center Street.
No, this is Center Ave.
Remind me where Center Ave is.
This is Center Ave.
By like St. Bridget's, it's like right
Okay.
there.
No,
No, that's Center Street.
Spencer's Pizza.
Okay.
Oh, I was thinking
So,
where the street was closed.
Parallel to
No,
Center
we did that
Street.
bridge a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's
This is why I got confused.
No,
It's
this,
the-
we did
it's
this one
the-
last year.
It's the
Okay.
other end of the Island Grove Pond.
Correct.
So if you
Correct.
go from the police station south down Island Grove Pond, Center Ave is the south end of Island Grove Pond, Center Street.
This should be renamed.
Central Street.
Central.
Yeah, we have Central
Not-
Street,
Not
Center Ave.
confusing at all.
It is confusing, but it's safe to drive over, so you're not gonna fall through.
And they're both
go.
safe to travel,
Yes.
so,
They're both safe now, yes.
which is good.
Yes. We've also applied for a grant, well, we got a grant to design a sidewalk on Summer Street along with traffic light upgrades at Summer and Plymouth, which are badly needed. If you are ever traveling down Summer Street, you'll see people walking in the middle of the road to get to the train station, which isn't ideal. So we got a,
Considering your headquarters is there, I'm sure you see them all the time.
we see it all the time, and so we got funded through the state's program to design it, and then we're gonna try to tap into the same program for construction.
Good.
And because we're an MBTA community,
That is correct.
that met the requirements.
That did meet the requirements, yes.
Right.
And the next slide is Groveland and Linwood, we already talked about that. Upcoming projects, we're lining sewer manholes, funded through the sewer receipts. That's been ongoing, you'll see them out there. It restores structural integrity to the manhole at probably a third of the cost of open digging and
Yeah.
putting in a brand new manhole and running bypasses and that type of thing. This restores structural integrity. All the manholes are approaching 30 to 50 years old. And depending on the engineer you ask, they'll say the life expectancy of a manhole is 30 years, some say it's 40, but we're taking a proactive approach as time goes on, doing a little at a time. Then we applied for another grant to do more sidewalks on Washington further down towards Central. Because they're bad. This is another round of complete streets. We've already applied for the grant, and we'll see what happens. Excellent. Let's see, next slide. We replaced the Walnut Street, we have 13 sewer pump stations in town, and they're getting older. Walnut Street Pump Station is the second biggest in town, aside from Summer Street, and we replaced it this year through sewer receipts, and it was a success. The original Pump station was built in 1988, so that was approaching 37 years old. So we're taking a proactive approach with our pump stations and trying to do one every couple of years through sewer receipts. Like, that's what you're supposed to do with sewer receipts. And then the next slide is just a rundown of sewer. We're allotted 1.5 million gallons a day of sewer capacity conveyed to the city of Brockton, and we're currently at about 1.071 million a day. So we have about 430,000 sewer capacity, which is, a great asset to the town.
Yeah.
Without sewer capacity, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So we have 400,
We've hit the wall.
we've hit the wall a few
several
times.
over the years.
So we hammered
great.
out, we hammered out a new deal a few years ago.
Yep.
That 1.071 is based on a 365-day rolling average.
So, not a small sample size.
Not a small sample size. It's not based on 3 days. It's not based on 40 days. It's based on 365 or 366 if it's leap year. And then in Rockland, we're allotted 110,000 gallons a day conveyed to the town of Rockland, and we're at about 62,000. And then this is just a list of the infrastructure, the sewer infrastructure that we take care of. And then if we go to the next, I'm sorry, any questions? Do you have any questions?
No.
All right. We'd like to update the finance committee on where we stand sewer rate-wise. And this is a list of communities that participated in the MWRA survey. And as you can see, we're 47 out of 56, so that's not too bad. We're below average. That's based on 90,000 gallons a year, which is average for one household. So we're doing good. We're down there, so. And then the next page is, we have a couple projects coming up that are mandatory through the state's MS4 permit or stormwater permit. We're required to build two demonstration projects, they call them, one in each basin. Abington has two basins, the Mount Hope Bay Basin and the French's Stream Basin. So we'll be building one here at Town Hall, which we designed probably about 6 years ago, and then one at Arnold Park next to the new playground that we'll be getting. They're just rain gardens, and they're supposed to demonstrate the importance of keeping stormwater clean and the importance of water as a whole. So they're just demonstration projects. You'll see them coming up probably this year.
I don't know. Yeah. No worries.
All right.
Yeah,
Feel free to ask.
no.
If Greg's self-censoring, then we should.
We're in the middle of we're on year 8 of a 10-year NPDES permit, and we were required to put those in last year, but we didn't have the money to do so. We have the money to do so now, so we'll be installing them this year. That's a list of trees we've taken down this year. We just put them out there, put that there for informational purposes. Then the next slide is snow, which Kelly updated today. We're currently at 50-something inches of snow. 65.5 inches of snow, which is way above average. And this just gives you a rundown of all the salting we've done this year, the plowing we've done this year, how much salt we've used, and the amount spent over the last 5 years.
How are we doing with salt reserves?
We're good. We're good. Our operations manager, Brian McLaughlin, does a great job with the snow in general, and
One of my coworkers lives in Randolph, and apparently they ran out.
a lot of people have, but Brian's kept on top of it, and we're good. And we have a brand-new salt shed that works.
Yeah.
That is just phenomenal. It's phenomenal salt shed. And, yeah, we're good on salt.
By the way, what happens to that salt shed after is that in the same place that the other salt shed was?
But our two old ones?
Yeah. Is it in the same place?
No, it's
Okay.
to the right of the police station.
Got it.
Drive by the police station, you look up, you can't miss it. It's huge.
Yeah, all right, great.
It's huge. All right, then we go to the next page. This is just to give you an update of where I know this is not the fiscal year to be asking for more staff or anything like that. I'd just like to remind everybody where we were back in 2007 as we weren't a DPW yet, but we're down 10 people where we were about 20 years ago. We consolidated everything. We need more help. A lot of our staff now has been here a long time, retention, which is a double-edged sword because they get well-deserved more vacation time, and that leaves us short throughout the year. So that's just for informational purposes. We went from 29 employees to 17 employees,
How many employees do you think you need?
probably back up to where we were in 2007. Probably,
So there's no like advancements in like technology or anything that has helped to at least bring that number down to where it would be like 23
yeah.
or whatever.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just saying, pick a number of like, has anything happened that's positive that like,
Yes, consolidating in the office.
yeah,
We gained, I think, we consolidated 6 people into 3
yeah,
through attrition and other means.
yeah.
So, no, you're right. It wouldn't be 27, it wouldn't be the same amount as 2007.
Yeah.
It'll probably be four people less.
So 25.
25.
25.
Similar towns have,
25 and you would be, everything would work the way you think it should work.
correct. Correct.
What's not getting done?
It's a good question. We're getting a lot of stuff done, but we can't,
Right.
You know-
I mean, you're short people, so something's not getting done.
Not building
Through no
sidewalks.
fault of yours, but.
right.
Yeah.
But other towns can build their own sidewalks, other towns do their own road repairs, other towns do their own trees. We can't do any of that.
So we're farming that out
Yes, sir.
Can you put any- can you
to
put-
contractors.
Yes, sir. It's the same with the snow and ice.
Okay.
The snow and ice is more because we have to hire more contractors because there's 12 guys in the field.
Could you put anything together that shows like that has a cost of X and then, so, you know, contracting out has a cost of X?
Yes, definitely. We'll work on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sometimes it makes sense to have variable expenses, sometimes it makes sense to have fixed expenses.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and we've seen over the years with the inspection department,
yeah,
the differences between having people who are doing like gas inspections and plumbing inspections versus contracting that to independent contractors.
Yes, we're the only-
We've fluctuated back and forth, so those types of things where, like, looking at the cost of what it would cost to have a person versus what it's costing us to outsource.
Right, this is a little different.
How much of it can, like, for you, I'm saying, like, for the trees, as an example, how much could adding one person do versus all of the work that we do outsourcing, and where would the balance point be?
Well,
Would be good to do that breakdown.
yeah, agreed.
And there's no overtime, right? Other than the salt and ice and,
Oh, there's definitely overtime. Now,
Okay.
we get called for everything. Sewer pump stations could break down. We get called for traffic accidents. We get called for, you name it, we get called for it.
Okay.
Trees down, the list goes on and on. At least once a week, twice a week probably.
okay.
But as I said before, as, you know, people, we have retention, and it's a double-edged sword. People have more vacation time now. So there's gonna be, eventually, we're gonna come to a point where we can't get things done.
Yeah.
Whether it's fields, lines, grass mowed, the pool, we take care of the swimming pool.
We have a swimming pool?
Yes, sir.
Where?
Down the Island Grove on Park Ave.
Oh, I thought that was like a pond.
There's a pond there, but there's a man-made swimming pool that we chlorinate every day. We test the water every day. We rake the beach. We empty the trash.
Oh, all right.
Kelly runs it. Yeah.
We
So-
can turn pool.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah,
It's not like the pools you see at the Olympics.
yeah, it's not, yeah,
It
it's not like
is
that.
a natural,
It's a natural.
Yeah, the other,
it's a
sorry.
natural looking.
The other thing that would be helpful is if we, like, if you could come up with something that say, hey, these things aren't gonna get done, right? This,
Oh,
it's just not,
we have that, we have that.
Yeah, so like giving that out would also be a good thing.
Yep.
To especially families and kids' parents that have kids that play sports, that somebody could mow a field if you guys can't get to it, or whatever it is. I don't know if there's are you on the town website or anything?
Are we on the town website?
Yeah, I don't go on the website, so I.
Yeah.
But like, if you could list it there, like, hey, we could use some help doing X, X, or X over the next whatever.
Yep,
I
it's a good idea.
feel like there could be a liability with,
I'm sure there is, but I mean, at some point, you gotta just, you know what I mean?
Sorry,
Even
Gary.
pick up trash. Like,
Yeah, like, I mean, exactly, like, there's a point in life where if people can help out, we'd love to, I mean, why wouldn't? If nobody's getting paid.
No, that's
If somebody
true.
cuts off their arm with a lawnmower, like, nobody, it was gonna happen.
Things happen.
But, yeah.
I mean, if it happened to me, I wouldn't be like suing the town for it. I chose to do it. So, I don't know. A little personal accountability and maybe helping out some stuff might help too.
That's true.
This is a list of some of the tasks that we have as a DPW. A lot of people just think we do potholes and plow snow, but there's a lot more to it. This whole spreadsheet will be on, this PowerPoint slideshow will be on the website for people to look at. We do a lot of other things with our 12 and 3 office staff. And this is just a breakdown of, by hour, how many man-hours we spend doing certain jobs. It's right there for your review. Like a lot of people, again, a lot of people just think we fill potholes, but it's not the case. We do so much. Next slide. Last year, we paved Mill Street, Blanchard Terrace, and Cynthia Road. This year, we're doing Coleman Street, paving Coleman Street, and we'd like to pave Hershey Lane and the Town Hall parking lot as part of our capital plan. I understand the funding situation, but we're still required to come up with a capital plan per municipal law. So we've done that. If we go to the next page.
So I had a question on that from
Sure.
when I was reading over, you, because you had sent the capital
I did.
ahead of time. Is the town hall parking lot compared to other roads in town, it's that high up on the to-do
I think it is
list?
because you have a lot of visitors, and it creates a liability issue.
Okay.
And we did the back parking lot where the employees park, over there, and we did in front of the library, but we never got to where the visitors park. I think it's an important thing for the town. We've had it on the capital plan, it's probably the 3rd year. But I understand the fiscal situation, but as I said, we're still required to come up with a capital plan. This
How many
is
more streets could you do?
how many what?
Streets?
How many?
Instead of doing the parking lot?
One,
One?
small one.
Yeah, it's not a, parking lot out there is not a large space, so.
Yeah, it would be probably one. But I just think the amount of foot traffic you have at town hall, like including yourself.
No, I just know somebody's gonna ask that question.
Yeah.
So like that's
Probably-
that's why I just asked it out loud.
Probably a dead end street.
Yeah.
A narrow dead end street. And this is our fleet list.
One lane.
We need to start upgrading our equipment when the town's in a better fiscal situation. A lot of our vehicles are antiques, literally.
Very much would like for the town to be in a better fiscal
I understand that.
situation soon.
Yeah, I understand, definitely. I'm not here to point fingers or
I'm
blame at
saying,
anyone.
in the time that I've been on, we have not, like, we've had a few years of moderately okay
You guys,
fiscal situation, and most years of how do we make it work situation.
Right.
It would be nice to get to years of boom.
like this committee and Andrew have done a good job
Haven't seen those yet.
when we had some money.
So,
Yeah. Let's see.
so there's a lot of things that it would be nice to take care of, like, the streets.
The streets are in dire need. They are, and they're not getting better.
I can't remember if it was in this presentation earlier, or if it's just past years where you've had the list of the streets and
We haven't gotten to the road rating yet.
the
We'll get to it
condition, the
next
condition
month.
they're in, and there's just not enough money to keep up
There isn't.
year to year, so.
We get 390,000 from the state to do roads
And that
a year.
covers a narrow,
A mile.
small dead-end street?
Yeah, a mile. Price of asphalt is $110 a ton.
Yeah,
Doesn't get you far.
so.
Do you anticipate that going down at all this year? But just the price of asphalt?
No. Nope. It actually went up $5.
Really?
Yeah. Which is strange. I think that the price of oil has gone down.
Yeah.
And
Not lately,
not lately.
not lately.
No. But you would.
It's down compared to a year and a half, 2 years ago, so.
Not lately. The Iran situation's
Yeah.
driven the price of oil up $10 a barrel.
But we'll have the road rating up on the website soon, once we have a chance.
And while we're talking about the fleet and the capital, I will properly pronounce that you have a striper on there, because that is one of my worst mistakes that I've made
Yes.
in my time on FinCom. My improper pronunciation of adding an extra P into that word one year when you were looking for a new striper.
Yes.
So I am very, very cognizant of the pronunciation of striper. DPW is not looking for something with two Ps.
No. We'll get further into the capital plan in a few slides.
Yep.
This is just, again, more of our equipment with pictures of the body rot and rust, and go to the next slide.
What's that thing over there?
That's a holder. It's a sidewalk machine.
That's awesome.
This,
That's great.
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. What are you doing with that when it's done?
It's not worth anything.
I don't know. I didn't.
It's about 40 years old. We
That
can't
doesn't-
use it.
That doesn't mean Greg doesn't want it.
You can have it.
Yeah.
That thing doesn't, yeah, it's parked there. But we could use a new one for sidewalks. That's part of the capital plan.
Yep.
And here is Town Hall. Here are pictures of the parking lot. You can see the alligator cracking on the first picture. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that as a department. Not that we have the time to anyway, but. And to the right is Hershey Lane, and I feel bad for the residents of Hershey Lane. It's probably the worst road in town. But again, Chapter 90 won't cover that. That's just, we put that there for informational purposes, and this again will be up on the website for people to see. And this is our de facto capital plan. We need the paint machine. We lined football with it.
Didn't we get one?
No,
Did we not get one last year?
no, we were supposed to.
But wasn't that in the plan? What am I missing?
No,
That
it
was
was.
in there.
It was in there. It got removed.
But when? Like we knew about it?
When we
I don't
didn't
know
have
if
the
you
money
guys knew
for it.
about it.
What?
When we didn't have the money for it.
Like who
I
did
have
it?
a quick question
Sure.
about that.
Yep.
If it's just used to paint the lines on an athletic field, that seems like a single purpose. Is that something where like we don't need to buy the machine? We could just pay someone to do it once and
It has to be done on a weekly basis, or it'll fade away, and we mow.
it shows how much I know about football. Thanks.
It's not just football, it's baseball, it's soccer, it's band practice, it's softball. And
Yep, got it. I played tennis. Those lines were permanent.
we don't have to, we don't have to worry about tennis. Lacrosse, we worry about that.
Yep.
I'm sure I'm missing a couple.
Yeah, the lines that John doesn't have to worry about are the ones on the turf field.
Oh, no, we do that too. For lacrosse.
Okay.
Yeah, we do that too. But without a paint machine, there's nothing we can't stripe the fields. Then we go down, we have Hershey Lane that we already talked about, Town Hall paving that we already talked about. We need a Mack truck at some point now, but I know the fiscal situation. A sidewalk machine, an F-350 trailer, for a total of about 910,000. Again, I know the fiscal situation, and the items below, we can fund through the sewer
I was
undesignated.
gonna say, the sewer
Yes.
ones, I assume, would come from the sewer.
Sewer
fund.
undesignated, you guys don't have to worry about that.
I had a question, to go back to the field paint machine, since that's usually used for, I'd say mostly the schools, does the school system not contribute to that?
They contribute, they buy us paint, but the way I look at it, it's all coming out of the same
Yeah.
bucket, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we use it for little leagues too. OCYFL football, Little League baseball, Little League softball, Little League soccer.
Yeah, there are actually more youth football games held on the football field than there are.
Yeah,
school
so I would say it's
football games.
probably 50-50.
Okay.
And the school does buy us paint, and the athletic programs help us out too sometimes. Yeah.
Shows what I know, but like the sign-up fees for those, does that not help cover that, or?
To some extent. Yeah, to
Like,
some extent.
I don't know what that was
They
actually
wouldn't-
used for.
Yeah, paint.
Yeah,
So
okay,
it wouldn't be able to help us with a capital
okay.
project, you know?
Yeah.
It's a good question though.
Nobody's paying like, $2,000 to play football.
You know,
think
I was a
it's-
child.
I think it's, no, I'm saying, I think it's a couple $100 or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah, and it
But
like
again, it helps us.
those fees cover the administrative costs.
Right.
They cover uniforms, they cover equipment, they cover field fees.
Correct.
Which part of the field fees, I assume, is the paint, but it's certainly not enough to
Right.
buy new equipment.
Not capital items, no.
Machinery.
Definitely not capital items.
Probably not lawn mowers.
Not
Even
moving
so.
no. And that's all I have for our overview. Again, this,
A quick question, and Kelly, if you want to back up one slide, sorry, to the capital one. Just wondering if, since we have combined highway and sewer into DPW, if there are any sort of mixed use things for like the Mack truck or the trailer or anything that
we don't really use
that
the Mack truck for sewer, no.
the sewer, like any of those items that would allow them to be sewer purchases. I know
It's a good question.
there's restrictions, and I've thought the same about kind of golf, if there's anything that there could be overlap with golf, because golf does well when they have,
Or even just charging them when they use it, It's sort
Yeah.
of subcontracting out to them rather than have
Yeah.
them hire some contract.
Right.
I-
Yeah.
Something to look into,
Probably
definitely.
complicated.
Yeah.
Probably not
because I
possible.
know they have a lot of the kind of equipment that the
Yeah,
highway department would also have, so something to look at.
definitely something to look
Seeing
at.
if there's overlap where both the sewer and the golf departments have kind of the kind of equipment that we might be able to use the the enterprise funds from those departments for.
It's worth investigating anyway.
Obviously, we need to stay within the rules of the enterprise fund and not go outside the bounds that are allowed by the state and by municipal law. But if there are ways to do that, especially in times like this where
Yeah.
the belt is tight,
Yes, sir.
so.
All right, this spreadsheet, this PowerPoint presentation will be on the website, along with pictures and everything like that.
And just while John's contact information is up there, or was just up there, I will point out to anybody who's watching, John is fantastic to deal with.
Thank you.
John is really good at listening, taking your concerns, and responding. I've had neighbors who had things that they wanted to bring up. I gave them John's information, and they came back gushing to me at how good a job you did.
Thank you.
With resolving what they were asking about stuff, so.
Thank you.
You do a great job with that, and it's really, really appreciated.
We have the best staff, yes.
I second that.
Thank you, sir.
During this Chestnut Hancock extravaganza.
That's a word for it.
Made use of that several times to
Yeah.
clarify things.
And I know I've called you for potholes, and we've talked about plowing right before the meeting and things. It's just very, very responsive, very receptive, and really, really good to deal with, so.
Thank you.
And I apologize if you now get flooded with calls, because
It's okay. We're getting flooded with calls anyway.
More people watch these meetings than I ever would have thought before I was on this committee, so.
John, on that last screen,
Yeah,
the last, whatever it was, previous, sorry.
Yeah.
Two back, yeah.
That one.
So, could you get some options on like maybe not brand new stuff? Because if you really need some of this stuff, you know, I think that there's a better, and I think you agree that there's, if you guys get some stuff, it's probably better than nothing.
correct. I agree.
So if we, you know, again, I don't know how to split it up. I just looked at it for 5
good
minutes.
idea.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's an F-350 for 50 grand, 40 grand. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I'll ask our mechanic,
Yeah, I mean,
Marcus, our foreman. He's awesome. He knows.
I know you have to go to a certain thing to buy these things or whatever, but
No, but there's a way.
I just think, I think on a lot of these, not a lot, but I'm assuming there's not tons of Whacker Newsom sidewalk things. So the weird thing is I know the company name, but yeah, I think that if we
That
can
surprises
maybe help with some of the things, maybe.
thing.
I don't know if the answer is yes, we can help with any of it. I have no idea, but if we can help with some, I think it's probably better than you getting shot down completely.
We'll look into it. Good
Thanks.
point.
Thanks.
I do have a concern with that, but then we'll be back in this situation again, is my only thing, like if we buy like used things.
Yeah, I mean, my theory is these guys.
Depends on how used.
That's
These guys seem to be pretty good at like, you know, I mean, can you go back to, but what's the average age of things here?
Old.
I can assure you
The
if,
average age is 18.5.
yeah, I'm not gonna be here in 18 years, no offense. You know what I mean?
Same.
Like, it's just, so, you know, not that I don't care,
It's
but
all
like,
about Greg.
well, I don't think anybody's gonna be sitting here in 18 years. If you're still on this committee in 18 years, that's a long time. So my point is, I think that if some of the stuff that you can get 10 years out of them and you were gonna get 10 years out of a brand new one, or if you can get close to 14 years and you were gonna get, my point is if we can try to get a lot of people some things instead of some people getting no's completely,
That's true.
to me, it feels a little bit better and you don't, I don't feel like you're just kind of, you know, overlooking or whatever, underestimating what we need.
That's true. No, I agree.
To echo Greg's points, last year, actually, this committee and Andrew funded a used bucket truck for
Yeah.
us. And it's worked well to get in an accident, but before the accident, it worked out good. We're in the process of getting it fixed.
Was that the truck's fault, or was?
No, we were hanging up banners and a car hit it.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's a small inconspicuous thing, so
Yes, yes.
this happens for a
It
bucket truck.
happens. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get that fixed, and we'll get some solid years out of that machine. It's helped us a lot already. Do you want me to get to the budget stuff now? Any questions on that overview?
That would be great.
Anybody? All right, I was gonna start off with the sewer. We're broken down into 3 groups: sewer, highway, park and rec. There's really no big changes. For sewer, the FY '27 budget is 3.178 million, and our anticipated revenue is about 3.3 million. I don't know if you want me to go line by line. There's not really many changes aside from COLA increases and contractual obligations. We lowered a few items like electricity, postage, gas. Other than that, everything's the same as last year, aside from contractual obligations. Chris, what do you think? Do you want me to go through everything, or?
No,
All right. I don't want to keep you guys here all day.
I think in general with sewer, we want to make sure we're running the department efficiently
Yes.
and you run the department efficiently.
With, along with the great board of soil commissioners that we have.
We want to make sure that that the sewer's budget is balanced with the funds that are coming in, and we're not hiking the funds continually to do that, and you don't do that.
As you can see on the spreadsheet.
You keep it, and you showed us where the rates fall. The rates are reasonable.
Below average.
Comparatively to areas around us and the rest of the state. So I don't know if anyone else feels like we need to talk too much about sewer.
Okay.
Budgeting, at least. You do a very good job with budgeting the sewer and keeping it where it's supposed to be, and we very much appreciate that.
We live within our means, definitely.
So where do you want to go next? Highway or recreation?
Highway, again, it's basically the same, aside from contractual obligations and COLAs. Do you want me to run line by line?
Anyone need line by line, or do we want to hit highlights?
Different highlights.
Yeah, I think highlights. 'cause I'm
All right,
trying to look-
I'll just run through it
Looking
real
at
quick.
differences between, so we talked about for level service / override, you would look for 2 additional, is that
Right.
2 highway?
Yes, highway grounds, highway, park and grounds.
But would primarily be listed under the salaries of highway.
Correct. Correct.
Why did highway fuel decline so much? 26 budget to 27? It's like
Highway
What line
20%.
What line are you at?
Fuel.
Find it.
Fuel
Basically,
was,
because the gas prices are down.
No.
That's just ours.
That's just ours.
So for the previous years shown, the
There
other
it is.
departments that are added into
Right.
that one fund, so that 50,000 is just highway.
We should have put every department on there.
Right, so I don't know what every department asks for fuel, but that's what the difference is. So ours is actually, what we're asking for is exactly the same as we always do. It's just that 50,000 is, that's
So
just
this
for
is more a question for Andrew then.
Yeah.
I see 175 last year in budget, 26 budget, and 35,000 in 27 budget.
Yeah, we'll have to update that.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, so,
So here's along those, sorry, go ahead.
so does every department's fuel normally end up on the highway budget? Is that what?
Yes.
Yep, and then
And then they come to the highway department to fuel up.
they do come to the highway department to fuel up.
Okay,
And
so
then
that's.
Kelly will disperse bills to the different departments
Okay,
based on their usage.
so that just needs to be added in.
Right.
And if I may just jump in, we have the new fuel depot, people can see right in front of the salt shed, so.
Yep.
It keeps really good
That's
track
great.
of what's used and who's using it, and they have a swipe card or a fob.
Yep.
So that actually leads to what I was looking at, the trend of budget versus actual for fuel over the previous 5 years or so. Looks like the budget has been significantly higher than the actual. Are we budgeting too much for fuel?
That's
I know
when-
it's hard
gas prices
because
were
gas
high,
prices
yes.
fluctuate
They're
significantly.
down compared to
Yeah.
3 years ago.
But,
4 years.
I mean, FY '24, we budgeted 225,000 and spent 121,000. That's almost 100% difference.
So for 27, 110, 120 would probably be reasonable. For 26, while the fuel island was being constructed, we actually had to contract out
Yeah.
with a gas station in town.
Yes,
And that price was actually 70% more than what we'd buy
It was.
wholesale.
right,
So 26 is going to look a little funky,
yes.
but I think 110, 120 is probably reasonable for 27.
So it's just a spot where we can shave at least a little bit off of.
Didn't we talk about this though, again? Didn't we, not that what you're saying is wrong. Didn't we talk about using the one that was at the police and building this one and not stopping until that was done?
We talked about that in the early stages of the plan for the new construction.
Didn't come to fruition.
And then
Why?
something, I don't remember what it
There's
was,
always
but
some reason.
something about the plan required them to move the
Yeah, the
old
thing was getting old.
fuel pump. No, it required them to remove the old
I
one
know.
before they were able to install the new one. And I don't remember what it was.
I know there's a lot of contamination there.
Yeah,
So,
we could have probably done a little bit more. Alright,
So,
it's another couple months.
so
And we got recreation, park and recreation.
I was gonna say, looking between level funded and level service. I don't see a lot outside of the salary line that looks different.
Everything's the same.
Stormwater?
Well, Stormwater's done some weird things.
Yes.
it has to do with the timing of the project. Some years we don't have to do
Right.
anything except monitor.
Okay, so
Right.
if we go for level funded, we can push that out, but it's really just pushing it to another year.
Right.
The,
It's work that will eventually need to be done.
right. If I remember correctly, for a stormwater level service, it's that second demo project that we want to get done, right?
Correct.
The Arnold Park one? Would there be, and this might be a community preservation question, but would there be cost savings to doing it at the same time as the stuff that's going on at Arnold
I think we have the
Park?
money to do both right now, but just not much else.
I think it would be, if it was pushed, it would be the one town hall that was pushed out.
One at town hall will be
Okay.
pushed,
Okay,
but we might be able to squeeze them both in with the funding we have.
all right. And then recreation. Doesn't look to be much of a difference between level funded and level service there either.
Nope.
So. Anyone have questions?
But just a observation that everyone knows this, I'm gonna say it anyway. The, as far as the level service, the closer we can get the ask to the level funded, I would think, I would hope, the more likely you are to have success in the override. And if the most important thing in that override is getting the bodies, then some things like a demo stormwater thing, if that's what this is, pushing that off, it's up to you guys. But
I agree.
in my opinion,
I agree.
that would be where I'd go.
I agree.
I agree too.
All right, any other questions for John? Emily?
No, thank you for going through everything in such detail.
No problem.
John, thank you again.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done.
Ellie, thank you.
And whoever created
I
the,
know,
the,
but
the,
thank
uh,
you for this part.
the PowerPoint was very well done.
Yep.
Very easy to understand.
My favorite time of year.
And if it was all AI created, all the better.
Was discussing with people at work today about some of the things that we're using AI for, and the consensus was to have people use AI for the things that they don't like doing and keep doing the things they do like doing and that inspire them doing them themselves. So,
Yeah.
ready? Community preservation.
Can we just get that a little bit bigger? Thank you, sorry.
Thank you.
Or a
Appreciate it.
lot.
Good to see you.
I'm always gonna ask for it to be bigger.
Thank you.
All right,
Rachel, welcome.
thank you.
Do you want to introduce yourself to?
Sure, I'm Rachel Collins. I am the chair of the CPC Commission as well as Park and Rec, which a lot of this, as I go through it, you'll see sort of goes hands in hands with some of the smart growth that we're able to do with the community preservation funds. I talk really fast, so just give me settle down, and I will do my best. I'm going to give a little bit of background about the CPC first, so everybody's sort of on the same page before we get into the actual projects that came before us this year. So pardon my reading, but I don't want to forget anything. The Community Preservation Act is a smart growth tool that helps communities preserve open space and historic sites, create affordable housing, and develop outdoor recreational facilities. Property taxes traditionally fund the day-to-day operating needs of safety, health, schools, roads, maintenance, and more. But until CPA was enacted, there was no steady funding source for preserving and improving a community's character and quality of life. The Community Preservation Act gives a community the funds needed to control the future. Cities and towns that adopt the Community Preservation Act generate monies for their local community preservation funds through the implementation of a local CPA property tax surcharge of up to 3%. Here in Abington, it's 1.5%. And through the receipt of annual matching of funds at variable rates from a statewide CPA trust fund created by the Act. Abington adopted the CPA in 2016 and has been able to fund over 60 community-based projects. The committee is made up of members from Park and Rec, the Planning Board, Historical Commission, and Affordable Housing Trust, as well as members at large. Past members have been from conservation and interested community members. We typically meet 2 times a month from August or September through January, February to discuss interested projects with community members. The committee holds its fiduciary responsibilities in high regard. Caution is taken to ensure funds are carried over year to year. The CPA requires that communities spend or set aside for future spending a minimum of 10% of their annual CPA revenues for each of the 3 following categories: open space and recreation, historic preservation, and community housing. The remaining 70% of the funds are undesignated and can be used for any allowable projects in any of the CPA categories. This gives each community tremendous flexibility to determine its own priorities. So looking at the projects that were brought before us this year, just a little side note, in the past, since CPA was implemented in 2016, a lot of times community members would just bring a project to the CPA Commission and they would sort of like hash it all out. And we have found through our wonderful friend at the CPA for the state, for the trust, that it actually seems to be working better for folks to have to go through a town department. That way you can kind of see like where their capital improvements lie and what's already coming down the road, so that it just seems to run smoother. So all of the projects that have been approved have been gone through a department. So starting up at the top, we have record preservation, and this is not the first time that we've had this. We've had this 2 or 3 times, and this is to take all of our records back from when Abington was founded, 300, and somebody give me the number, 50, what's the actual number? Years ago, I should know that, right? Up to date, so this is in order to help preserve those records. And I guess if anyone has questions as I'm going through, if you just want to like raise your hand, I'll try to talk through what some of the details on that are. And again, that comes from the historical category. Next in our housing category, this is to replace the windows throughout the complex at Blanchard Gardens. And as they are able to replace those windows, that's also going to help with the cost of keeping those things hot and cold. And the windows that they have to use do go through like a state process where they're overseeing the materials that they use and the construction. They actually have to use new construction windows in order to maintain the integrity of that space. So they've done their due diligence.
Pardon me, I just don't know. Where is Vincent Blanchard Gardens?
That is one of the, do you remember the exact location of that one?
I was wondering the same thing.
Who
I know.
lives there? I mean,
So that's part of senior housing.
senior housing, all right,
Yep.
that's sufficient for my.
Yep. I should know which one is which, and I do forget, I'm sorry. The rest of these fall into the recreation and open space categories, which we've noticed over time because Park and Rec really is sort of part of the DPW, that a lot of these projects do end up falling into the recreation and open space categories. So the first one up here is a bike path at Riley Field. This is something that's been brought to us from the town, from the schools, from the folks. We want to make sure that nobody is using the Riley track for their bicycles, because it does ruin the track, and it's just been replaced a couple years ago. So the idea is to have a track right along the fence that will take kids from middle school, high school here, up along the side of the track, along the fence, and out to the new housing developments that are out there. We do have a lot of kids that ride their bikes out to Hancock Street and off of Shaw Ave. Tons of kids, so this gives them a safe place to do that. So that's actually really exciting, and it will be communicated through the schools as well as through the town to help keep them off the track and on an appropriate space to use their bikes. The next one is construction of a shed at Griffin's Dairy, and that is also in partnership with some folks at South Shore Votech. So it's a great opportunity for us to work together with South Shore Votech, as well as the amazing things that are happening over at Griffin's Dairy since it's been implemented an open space recreation facility over there. And the next part of that, these came in two different grants, so that's why, that's sort of why they're in two different categories, even though they, two different lines, I should say, even though they belong to the same area. And this is to bring electricity to the shed that they will be building. And again, that is in with some community partners to make that happen. And that's why the cost is fairly low for what it is. Next on there is an Island Grove priority plan, and this is to seek consulting services to assess the Island Grove for priorities of needs over there. It is a historical site, and sort of like that where to begin. There is a strong need for the camp house that's over there to be fixed in order to accommodate more campers. The need for camp has gone up tremendously. We're turning people away all the time, and it would be really great to be able to have more availability for kids to have somewhere to go in the summer, as well as the bathhouse, and where we have chlorine storage and just storage in general for the bathrooms.
Okay.
Bathrooms, sorry, not really bathhouse. So this would just give the opportunity to really look at that and be able to see what facilities, what the life of those facilities are, and what it would take to replace those facilities. And next on the list is the Strawberry Valley Golf Course was gifted some land, and this would help them to be able to have consulting services to figure out the best way to have an expansion of the land that they now have in order to make the best use of what they have over there, and to make some of the holes a little bit longer, and just sort of figure out how that would best work over there. Over on down, I should say down.
Just real quick on
Yep.
this, and obviously it's one hand or the other hand,
Yep.
but that's more appropriate for community preservation funds than their own funds?
So the receipts that they have come in, they wouldn't be able to do that, and because this is a community recreation space, it is eligible. It's a pretty strict list of things that can be eligible for projects for the CPA, and it does fall into that category. And
Use a lot of their own money
Yeah.
for it as well.
yep, so they've started that process, and in order to really get there and not let this go out like 15 years, like they want to get it,
Yep.
figure out the best use, they can start doing that. Down on Memorial Field, there's a couple of projects down there to help build out that space. We did a great deal of work down there with the new lights, and there's some things that have come up since then with the reconfiguration of the fields down there. One is to put up a net behind the new JV baseball field so that balls aren't going into the yards behind there. And along those same lines, to construct an emergency access path along the track that's already existing alongside of the baseball and football field, out underneath the scoreboard, out to the JV field, so that both folks with mobility issues, or if there's an emergency out there, that it's more easily accessible, and people know where to go, to get there.
I like all this stuff,
Yep.
but wouldn't that have been in the building of this new field? Like the net definitely should have been.
Yeah, and I mean, to go back and like how, if that, to think through, I think there was also, no, it's on the other side, like where some of the trees were cut down. It's like hindsight's 2020, like, yeah, that, you're right. If we could have put that into the initial project and have that part of the bond, that would be phenomenal. And it's sort of something that came up after the fact, after they've gone through a season down there, as well as they've been able to rent out that space almost every weekend of the summer. And so they, if you just, have like 1 or 2 JV baseball games for, 8 weeks in the spring, but they've been using it continuously throughout the entire summer and fall. So the amount of balls also going in that space has been pretty tremendous. And thankfully there's wonderful neighbors who have been pretty understanding, but they also want to enjoy their own property. So, yeah, if we would have, I guess, again, like hindsight's 2020, if we could have had that forethought down.
But like the
project.
but like the netting thing is but like the emergency access path, like wouldn't, isn't that why, again, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but isn't that why we do the studies and we pay somebody to do the whatever, and we pay people a lot of money
and
to
part of
do
this also
stuff like
is-
this, where they should have, in my opinion, said, you need an ADA path.
Yeah. And some of this is like, you have like phase 1 of a project, and I guess you could kind of consider this like phase 2 of the project.
Yeah.
So if you think of like different things that are happening in phases, that also, would have been better to bond, however much more at the beginning of the project, maybe, I don't know. But again, it qualifies for what the money can be used for
Yeah.
the projects.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to picture this. It's been a while since I've been down there.
Yeah, I have
Where
a picture.
is this field and these houses? Like, I can't picture
Okay,
houses.
so if
down
you,
there.
let's say like, I'm gonna draw it like on the table here. I don't know if I might have a picture. Give me 1 second to look through my.
I'm so sorry. I'm
No,
trying to
it's a
see
file.
and I
Andrew,
can't
do you
see
have a picture of
houses.
what it-
No, I have the
Okay.
Riley Field one. Let me see.
Maybe just put the satellite map of,
Oh, yeah, that might work too. I can
There-
pull out my phone
there's-
and show
You
you.
know
That
the
might be
left
easier.
of the football
I've got-
field?
I've got
So if
it-
you're looking at the football field down?
Yeah.
Like if you're
It's
looking
to
at
the
the
left.
stands, okay, like you're looking at the stands and then you go like
Like
over
the
to right
visitor
there.
stands?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like out back behind there. So they used to call like the Dust Bowl, like, and the,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
so
like-
it's like out in that direction.
Okay, I don't think I realized there were houses around there.
So
Well, they
the
weren't.
next road, I forget. which
There
one
were,
it
you
is.
didn't see them because there were 100 trees there. They
Okay.
So-
got rid
Yeah.
of a good amount of the
So I
trees.
Yes. So right
Okay.
under that.
satellite view there.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a good decade since I've been back there.
Nope. Had it.
There. All right. So if you see with like where the varsity
The gravel.
field is, so you have like that. So it's all been like where the field looks like it is there. This is an old satellite picture. The field
Okay.
is actually in a different spot now. So they've reconfigured all of
Oh, like
all
the
of
football field is.
So the football field's in the same space.
Okay.
And so we're looking to build a road out alongside what's already there between the stands and the football field.
Okay.
And then go underneath the scoreboard out along there. So the houses.
See this right here?
Yeah.
That's over there.
Baseball field goes this way, this would be like the fence to hit a home run. This
Yep.
is the problem.
Okay.
So a lot of those trees are no longer there. And
Oh, okay.
balls are going into.
Okay.
They hit a foul ball from the third base line. It's going into the
Okay.
different fields. Yep.
I thought like I didn't realize the trees were gone and stuff now.
Yeah. So and like a kid hitting a ball, can actually hit it pretty far in a foul ball. So that's part of that as well. All right. So also down there is construction of public restrooms at Memorial Field. And this is to reconfigure the shed that's already there. There would be 2 ADA accessible restrooms built into the existing shed. They will have additional storage on property with the big units that they have like over here at the turf, so that different groups can store their equipment, because right now a lot of it's being stored in there. It'll also give additional space for boosters to be able to have some very specific storage and a new freezer unit that will help between all the different groups using that space. And this would be one of those things that is sort of in the works of trying to figure out exactly like who's responsible. But as far as like the cleaning and things like that, to be open, along with porta potties that have to be brought in for like the fireworks nights and things like that, like town events. But it would give the opportunity to have some real bathrooms available down there during baseball games, softball games, football games, things like that. So just two real facilities, not just porta potties. All right. Next on the list is renovation.
And by the way, the porta potties are horrific.
I know that.
Like you couldn't even, I don't know if you've been in there, but I mean, like you can't even imagine a worse scene than those porta potties. I don't know who deals with them, but whatever, but like.
As are the public bathrooms in the front.
I'm sure. I don't
So
even
they
know if we
can't
should
use
offer
it.
bathrooms because it's like, it's unreal.
Yeah, so that's
is
part of
why
the
I was
conversation that we had amongst CPA is like making sure that people are using the spaces appropriately. And the groups that are using the space that are opening the bathroom, similar to what they do up at Riley, like if they have a track meet, they open it, they close it.
Yep.
The groups would be responsible for making sure that it's left in the same condition that they open the door in.
Get better than we found it.
That would kind of be part of that whole agreement. Softball field. So we have already given some CPA funds to help fix up some of the softball fields and the dugouts. So this would be to kind of take that third field and also bring it up to speed. They have been able to also rent out those spaces for some bigger tournaments. So again, that's bringing money into the town. So having this third field out there behind Beaver Brook help bring that up to where it should be. Next is replacement of benches in front of the library and town hall. And right now there are no benches. There are just things sort of sticking out of the ground. So they've just, over the years, those benches have fallen apart. There are a lot of middle school and high school kids that come over and use the library after school. So this will give them additional places to be outside when the weather's nice. They'd be able to use the existing footprints just to get some benches that will hopefully be able to last a whole lot longer in that space. Jumping back down to additional thing over at Griffin Stair, this is just to add some gravel along the footbridges to ensure ADA compliancy. So folks with mobility issues have a little bit easier time going over a couple of the bridges that are over there. And then last is to improve various Little League fields throughout town. And there's a list of different things that they'd like to do to help those, including fixing up some of the benches. If you have anyone who plays Little League, some of the benches are like this high off the ground. I wouldn't be able to even sit on it. So to make them more appropriate and the dugouts more appropriate for the kiddos that are using it for them. So those are the things that have come before us this year. This does leave additional money in for next year.
How much?
That's a good question. Let me see if I can find that page. So this would leave. I had it on top and then I rearranged all my files. I apologize. Yeah, this. And also, what's not shown on this list is also the obligation that we have for the bond for Memorial Field. So that's figure out about we said like $99,000 about that. Yeah, we rounded up to 100, and that'll keep going down every year. So that is helpful. So this, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. We started with $447,000 undesignated from previous carryover. Anticipated local revenue is $534,000. Anticipated state match is only about 10% this year. We're kind of being conservative with our estimates, about $53,000. So anticipated revenue would be $1,034,000. We had $56,635 in reserves for historical. We had used all of the reserves last year for recreation and housing. So we have committed, let's see if I can get a total on here, 900 for 650, and that left us, I'm gonna make sure I get these numbers right, that left us at 428, is that?
It's around there. There was a little bit different because historic doesn't meet the 10%
Yeah.
requirement. So there's like, of 18,000.
That it'd still be
That's the difference.
Put back in.
That goes
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
historicals.
yes.
So I think it was roughly 140 area.
And that would take into account also projects that have already been happening, and sometimes there's a little bit of money left over from those, and that money hasn't yet been realized for the projects. So that's that. And we did have a long conversation about like spending the money that's available, but also that balance of leaving, like also realizing that some things are going to cost more, some things need to be done now, or they're just going to get worse. So that was a long part of our conversation within our last meeting. So, any questions about any of the process or any of the specific projects?
Before we get to questions, I'll just point out, as Floyd and Emily, I think this is the first time you've gone through the community preservation. The Community Preservation Committee is in charge of the funds that
Yep.
come in through the Community Preservation Act.
Yes.
The Finance Committee is not.
Yes.
We appreciate you guys coming and talking to us about it, but you have authority over those and we really do not.
Yeah.
So
More just
it's-
like for
we-
us, it's like due
it's-
diligence and making sure that
yes.
everybody knows sort of like
And
where all that money
It's the
is and
same
where it's coming
for
from.
us, but
Yeah.
I like to point out to the newer people,
Thank you.
this is yours. We like talking to you about it and going through things and seeing what you're doing. But as opposed to really the rest of the budget, we don't really have much of a say
Yeah.
here. So we appreciate the time that you spend coming in anyway and letting us know what is going on and what you're doing. And that way we can see if there's any way we can kind of dovetail with things.
Yeah.
Or things like that, or offer suggestions and things
Appreciate
of
it.
that nature. I will ask the question we ask every year
Yep.
about the Island Grove Bridge.
Yeah. So I know that they like
What was, I'm
the
sorry.
Island Grove Bridge, like what the latest on that
Um,
process.
I just spoke to Liz, so Liz Shea is the one that's kind of overseeing that project. And they were waiting on something with the state grant on it. I don't know where that has landed. I know it's just been one thing after another that
Yeah.
the state is requesting as it happens in the state. So, I don't know exactly when that will progress.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that project, just for folks who don't know, that comes a little bit of the community preservation funds, a little bit of state funds, some matching grants, as well as some federal funds that we had requested to help with that, as it is historical site. So that,
And that was a big selling point for the town adopting the Community Preservation
Yep.
Fund. So a lot of people ask
Yeah.
about it when we talk to the community preservation, or when community preservation is brought up.
Yeah.
So I like
People
giving
wanna
you the
know. Yeah.
opportunity to
And-
tell people where things are at.
I don't have it with me. I mean, there is a beautiful 100-page document all about the condition of the bridge itself, and what we found out was like it looks bad, but it's actually more structurally sound than it looks. So it's aesthetically not great, and there are some things that if you could kind of do a little patch here and there, which DPW sort of done, but kind of the holding pattern to figure out what those next steps are.
Why do I feel like it got fixed for the 300th, or am I making that up?
Again, Band-Aids.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I
And
remember
wasn't there
something happening.
cleaning of the monuments, like the big monument at the end of it? So
Okay.
there was like cleaning and fixing up of that, but as far as like the actual bridge
Okay.
going from like Wilson Place over, that's like sort of the structural pieces we're talking about right now.
Okay, I was like, I
No, but you're
remember
right, there are.
something happening.
It-
on
There's,
the
and
300th.
there's also been some additional signage that's gone up from the CPA funds. So if you're like at Wilson Place and you're about to go over the bridge, there's some new signage there and along throughout the grove itself with some
Okay.
historical information in there. Great. Anything else?
Anyone other questions for Rachel?
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah,
Thank
feel
you
free
so
to reach
much.
out
Thank
if you
you.
have any additional
Excellent
questions.
information.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
And we appreciate you talking fast.
That was excellent.
All right, moving along, That's the,
I know.
That's why I scrolled through it for you.
I knew it was like a little ponderous.
I'm showing Greg, for those who can't see my laptop, I'm showing Greg the pool,
Which is a pond.
which is the pond at Island Grove that we treat as a pool. Moving on, back to our agenda. There it is. Are there any liaison reports?
The public library 2 storms ago got a leak in the roof, and I was there. It was caused, I believe, by an ice dam, and they contacted the company that installed the roof, and I believe something came about that. The next time I was there a week later, they were airing and dehumidifying that area of the leak, but I don't know the outcome of the company that they spoke to.
Okay. But it wasn't leaking the next time?
It was
that you were
not
there?
leaking the next
That's
time.
good.
And I believe they hired a company to come in and break the ice dams.
Anything else? Other liaison reports? There was no correspondence. And we do not have minutes to review this week. We went through a bunch of them at our last meeting, but we don't have any this time. Which brings us to discussion of our next meeting. Andrew has the schedule up. So next week, we will have the school department. And the week after that, the 11th, we will have social votech and town manager and treasurer. And then by 3/18, we need to be budgeted.
When's the meeting? The
The town meeting,
May 4th.
May
May
4th.
4th.
But
Yep,
because
no,
of
I thought it was like the week after. Great.
No, because of the votes for overrides, the amount of leeway we gave ourselves by pushing the meeting to May
Yeah,
is gone.
Thank you.
So that was before you came,
Yes.
Mike, but the last few years, we've had our town meeting at the very beginning of April, and it's been rushed, and we haven't had super finalized numbers from the state and other places and things, and so we had made the request of the prior town manager to push the town meeting to May so we could have a little more solidified information and things, and as you know, with the override vote, we lose that amount, that extra month.
Definitely.
So, next year. That is all we have on the agenda for tonight. Are there any other topics, points of discussion, motions?
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn
I'll
from
second.
Greg, and a second from Abby. Is there any discussion on the motion to adjourn? Without any, all those in favor of adjourning? Aye.
Hi.
All those opposed, abstaining, it is unanimous. We are adjourned. Thank you very much and see you next week.